Annie Petrillo, John Mitchell, totally in the Wendel Clark fever. Saturday when the Chicago Blackhawks are in town, his number 17 will be honored and raised to the rafters. And I don't know how you guys breathe with this facial hair.
Well, I don't know how to either. I can't really grow a mustache, so it's a little different. But if Wendel could do it, I think. I guess not everybody can do it because Wendel does a lot of things that people can't do.
Well, exactly. But you guys look tough. I look like a French painter that's just come off the streets of Paris. But what do you remember the most about Wendel Clark? I know you talk a lot about that 1993 playoffs, being a Canadian boy yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Those playoffs and, him in L.A. and he's getting hat tricks and doing all kinds of crazy stuff and against Detroit, he was just awesome to watch. He brought his game every single night and, he was willing to do whatever it took to win the game for the team. So, it was a real pleasure for me to be able to watch him. And he kind of reminded me of my dad for some reason because my dad had a mustache just like him and everything. And he was kind of, big, kind of burly guy just like that. So, he was real exciting to watch. And, both me and my dad really enjoyed watching him, and we both loved him a lot.
Yeah, I think in the 80s and 90s, a lot of us had fathers who had mustaches. My dad had one, and I'm sure if you put a picture of him next to me right now, I would look like my father's daughter. Well, let's hear what other players had to say about their fond memories of Wendel Clark. So Wendel Clark, his number being honored on Saturday. What do you remember most about him as a player?
He did it all. Wendel did it all. He's, could fight, could hit, like one of the best body checkers, especially in open ice. And obviously he could skate and shoot, and one of the best wristers we ever saw in the league for sure. I remember the playoffs when Dougie fed it to him from behind the net, that late goal, top shelf. I mean, those are vintage Wendel moments. And then, of course, this as well.
So now you have the beard going, but are you going to shave the beard and keep the mustache on Saturday?
No. I mean, that would be a little too much, but nothing but the utmost respect for Wendel.
Toronto boy, familiar with Wendel Clark. What are maybe some of your fondest memories of him as a player?
Obviously, he was one of the few to be able to combine unbelievable scoring touch, great snapshot / wrist shot, and obviously his toughness. And went through the wall and played hard every night, and obviously he's one of the best Leafs to ever play.
Were you cheering for them, obviously, when they were going up against St. Louis that time, and then next thing you know, you're spending most of your career there?
Oh, no question. Obviously, being from here, I was at that time, a Leaf fan, and always have been, I guess. But it's certainly a special night and well deserved.
It's well deserved for Wendel. I've answered this question a few times already this week, obviously, which is good. But if Wendel came in the league today, he'd be making $10 million a year. He was exciting to watch, and every shift that he was out there, either hit somebody hard or he scored a goal. So that's the kind of players, the impact players you want on your team, and he played like that every night.
You guys going to be wearing the mustaches tomorrow in pre-games game?
Well, it sounds like a good idea right now, but when you actually get out there and you got to glue that thing on your lip, it's going to be tough. But we'll see. It'll be a team thing. Everybody does it or everybody doesn't.
Do you have a memorable either memory of?
Well, it's either that 4-goal night against me or the punch in the chest that knocked the wind out of me or the slapper to the head. So one of those three would probably be my most memorable moment playing against them.
What made Wendel great?
Well, the combination of he could hit, score, and fight. Not many guys can do that.
Not even today's game. You don't see a player.
No.
That's more of an old school, it seems like.
Yep. Ovechkin does 2 out of 3, but, he's fought once, but not like Wendel. Wendel took on the heavyweights. Bob Probert's the toughest guys in the league.
I knew it was coming, so I knew I had to put some work in. He has a pretty good stash, so just wanted to get it done early and make sure it was a good one for Saturday.
Is Wendel the kind of guy that maybe you looked up to as a kid? I know you were living in the States and that, but a rough customer, a tough guy, like to fight, like to score, like to do everything you like to do.
Yeah, he's definitely a player that, always kept my eye on and looked up to. And like you said, he just played a complete game and, was never afraid to mix it up physically and could finish as well around the net and just was a complete player. And anytime you have a chance to, be around with anybody like that or have a chance to see anybody play like that, it's a special thing.
Get a chance to know him at all, Ryan, since you've been here?
Yeah, I've got to know him a little bit. I'm one of the new guys, so I'm one of the new faces. But, he's a great guy, like I said, and, really involved with the community. And, that's a great thing once you're done and to stay with the team and try to support it as much as possible.
What's your best advice for guys on the team that have the problems growing the mustache, and we won't name any names.
There's a few guys that have trouble, but you can always get you can invest in some Just for Men and diet, or there's always ways to around it. But if you leave it greasy too, it's usually pretty good. The boys like that. So.
And you guys are, I guess, the fans tomorrow are getting fake Wendel Clark mustaches. Maybe that's an option too.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them kick around, so you might see a couple of those out for warm up. Some of the guys wearing them, but definitely going to have fun on Saturday, so it should be a good night.
So you took a lot of heat earlier in the season for all the different facial hair you had going on, but now it seems that everyone's going to want the exact same thing on Saturday, Wendel Clark night. Do you feel you're at an advantage to all those guys who have to put the stick-on mustaches?
Yes, I do, actually. I've been working on this for a couple months and it's starting to come in, so I do feel I got the upper hand.
Do you have any fond memories of Wendel Clark? Growing up, he's the tough guy. Always, they were saying the tough guy who can score but can also hit really hard, too.
Yeah, oh man, he was a tremendous player. Probably still could play, I'm sure, but just throwing the body and scoring goals, he is pretty much the definition of an all-around player. So a lot of fun to watch, and all the best to him.
Why do you think people always look at the mustache? Why is that something that everyone kind of harps on and picks on people about?
I don't know. I haven't got picked on too much, but I think maybe it's a little old school or in the 80s or whatever, but who knows? Maybe it'll come back.
Does it make you feel tougher?
Not tougher, but I feel like I stand out a little bit more.
Makes you look older?
Yeah.